Why play Illaoi top? Well, she deals a ton of damage, and she's tanky and hard to kill. She's amazing in a team fight, easily able to fight multiple opponents, and she's a pretty good split push threat. However, she does lack mobility, so can be kited, and she is reliant on her tentacles for good fights. Illaoi's passive makes tentacles spawn on terrain periodically. These can be killed by being attacked twice by an enemy, and will only attack enemies as commanded. When these spawn tentacles do attack an enemy, Illaoi restores some health. Illaoi's Q firstly has a passive which increases the damage of her spawn tentacles. The active makes Illaoi swing a tentacle in front of her, dealing damage. Illaoi's W is an auto attack reset, which makes her next attack leap at a target and deal additional damage. Then, the nearby spawn tentacles will slam down on that target. Illaoi's E is a straight line skill shot which pulls the spirit out of a champion, leaving the spirit in front of her. The spirit can then be damaged and will transfer a percentage of this damage onto the real champion. If the spirit dies, or if the enemy champion walks too far away from it, they are slowed for 1.5 seconds and marked for 10 seconds. Marked champions spawn tentacles out of them, and all tentacles will periodically slam down at this champion. Illaoi's ultimate smashes the ground around her, dealing damage to nearby enemies and spawning a tentacle for each champion hit. And the pulled spirit counts as a champion, so always try to land your E first. For 8 seconds, tentacles become untargetable. They also slam twice as fast, and your W's cooldown goes down to 2 seconds. One of Illaoi's easiest combos is to start with her E to tear out their soul before auto-attacking the soul into hitting both targets with Q, and then follow this up with an auto-attack W reset on the soul for a large amount of easy, untradeable damage. Otherwise, if you're in range and happy to trade, all follow-up abilities can be used on the champion instead for even more damage. For Masteries, take this. It allows Illaoi to play like a true bruiser. For build orders, start Shield and Pot or Corrupting Potion. Following this, get tier 2 boots, Divine Sunderer and a Hull Breaker. Following this, these are great offensive options, and these are great defensive options depending on what you need. For skill orders, start Q, then W, then E, before maxing E, then Q, then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoners, take Flash and Teleport. You're a great split pusher and team fighter, and this allows you to do both. Starting the game, try to get to lane as soon as possible to start spawning tentacles. You can't do too much until level 3, so look to play safe. From level 3, you're looking to farm hard, but you're now also looking for opportunities to land your E to start your easy and free combo. However, this is a slow moving and hard to land skill shot, so attempt to land them when your opponent is least expecting it. When you hit level 6, you now have serious kill pressure. If you're able to land your combo and follow it up with your ultimate, it's now a ton of damage and a huge amount of sustain. And if you ever find yourself in a 1v2, all this means for you is there's another champion to spawn another tentacle for you when you ultimate. Entering the mid game is where Illaoi becomes a beast as a split push threat. Between Divine Sunderer, Hull Breaker and your W resets, you can destroy towers and push minion waves incredibly fast. This forces your opponent into an awkward situation where they can either contest you and then you can teleport to be a beast in a team fight, or simply stay and there's a good chance you win the fight against whoever comes to you. Entering late game, you do usually want to be in a side lane and teleport in for the fight. You want to be the bruiser frontline who lands an E into a multi-champion ult to devastate any grouped enemies. Multiple AoE slams going off over and over again on high value targets directed by your W is devastating, and of course will give you a good amount of healing so you can stick in there. As you lack CC, keep standing in the enemy's face, targeting your tentacles to deal tons of damage.